Now, a particle is projected at 60 degree to the horizontal with a kinetic energy K. The kinetic energy at the highest point is, a particle is projected at 60 degree to the horizontal. See here, let us consider a plane is taken, say x-axis, y-axis. Now a particle is projected with 60 degree angle to the horizontal. We know that is the path of projectile is parabola, of course. A body which is thrown into the air other than 90 degree angle. So wherever you take, horizontal component will be acting, but at highest point, vertical component of velocity Vy is equal to 0. Vertical component will be 0, but horizontal component Ux will be constant. That is Ux is equal to U cos theta. Ux is equal to U cos theta. Now what about the expression for kinetic energy? Kinetic energy K is equal to half into m into v square. But at highest point, Ke is equal to half into m into, we have to write, say, ux square, that equal to half into m into u cos theta whole square. U cos theta whole square, that is equal to half into m into u square cos square theta, or it can be written as half mu square, of course. So now half into m into u square cos square theta is equal to 60 degree. Now half into m into u square into cos 60, 1 by 2 whole square. Now Ke dash, of course, Ke dash at maximum height is equal to half into m square can be written as, say, according to this expression, initial expression, say Ke into 1 by 4. That implies Ke dash is equal to Ke by 4, but in the given notation Ke can be taken as a K, that's why it can be written as a K by 4. So then answer will be 1 by 4th of initial kinetic energy, that is K by 4. Here we have two masses, 10 gram and 40 gram, are moving with the kinetic energies in the ratio 9:25. The ratio of the linear momenta is given masses m1 and m2, and we have kinetic energies ratio Ke1 is to Ke2 is equal to 9:25. That is Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to 9 by 25. And the mass is given, m1 is equal to 10 gram, m2 is equal to 40 gram. Now what is the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum? Relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. Kinetic energy K is equal to half mv square, and momentum P is equal to mv. Momentum P is equal to mv, and kinetic energy K is equal to half mv square. Multiply that kinetic energy with, say, m by m, of course. Then what happens? It can be written as, say, half into m square v square by m, that is equal to mv whole square by 2m. But we know mv is equal to p, so that can be written as, say, p square by 2m. Kinetic energy K is equal to p square by 2m. That implies now p square is equal to 2m Ke. That is what is the relation between momentum, mass, kinetic energy. So now p square is proportional to m into kinetic energy. Now p proportional to root of m into K. Now we have to find ratio of linear momenta. So that P2 or P1 by P2, no problem. P1 by P2. P1 by P2 is equal to root of m1 by m2 into Ke1 by Ke2. P1 by P2 is equal to root of m1 by m2 into Ke1 by Ke2. Now P1 by P2 is equal to root of 10 by 40 into 9 by 25. That is equal to 1 by 4 into 9 by 25 root of. that can be written as 1 by 2 square into 3 square by 5 square root of. So that by removing the square we can find P1 by P2 is equal to 3 square is there now, we have to 3, 2 square, 2 and 5, that is equal to 3 by 10. P1 by P2 is equal to 3 by 10 is the ratio. P1 by P2 is equal to 3 by 10 is the ratio. Body of mass 5 kg. Body of mass 5 kg has a linear momentum 20 kg meter per second. 20 kg meter per second. If constant force 5 Newton is applied, constant force 5 Newton acts on it in the direction of its motion for 10 seconds. Time taken is say 10 seconds. The change in its kinetic energy of the body is, the change in its kinetic energy of the body is so here the mass of the body is say mass of the body 5 kg, mass of the body is 5 kg and momentum given, mass of the body is 5 kg, momentum is given 20 kg meter per second. So that momentum of the body, say momentum P is equal to mass into initial velocity, of course. So momentum P is equal to m into u. Let us consider as it is the initial velocity. Of course the body starts motion, of course, so that we had to find u. So that what about P? What about P? P is equal to 20, that equal to 5 into u. That implies initial velocity u is equal to 20 by 5, that is 4 meter per second. That is 4 meter per second. Using this one, we can find the force. Of course, we have the magnitude of force, That's why we can write, say, force F is equal to ma, that can be written as m into v minus u by t. V minus u by t. So now for that F value we have, what about F value? 5 newtons is equal to, mass is given 5 into v minus u. We don't know the final velocity, okay? We don't know the final velocity, we have to find final velocity. So v minus u, 4 by time is given 10 seconds. Here 5 gets cancelled, yes or no? That implies v minus 4 by 10 is equal to 1. That implies v minus 4 is equal to 10. That implies v is equal to 14 meter per second. V is equal to 14 meter per second. But what we have to find? We have to find the change in kinetic energy. We have to find the change in kinetic energy. So that according to work energy theorem, W is equal to Ke final minus Ke initial, that is equal to what about the expression? Say half mv square is equal to half mv square minus half mv square minus half mu square. Hence delta Ke, change in its kinetic energy, is equal to half into m into v square minus u square. Now change in kinetic energy is equal to half into 5 into 14 square minus u square 4 square. So that is equal to half into 5 into 196 minus 16. That is equal to half into 5 into 180. That is equal to 90 into 5. That is equal to 450 joules. 450 joules is the answer for change in kinetic energy. Now here we have a particle moves in a straight line with retardation proportional to its displacement. Its loss of kinetic energy for any displacement x is proportional to. So for this question here we have A is retardation given there, no? Retardation in general, in a case of simple harmonic motion, A is proportional to minus f we have to take. Acceleration is always directly proportional to the displacement and both are acting in opposite direction. But here given deceleration, deceleration. So minus we have to take deceleration. For deceleration, minus we have to take minus a is proportional to minus x, and hence deceleration is proportional to x. So that it can be written as a equal to k into x. So that we have to take the expression a is equal to k into x. Base expression is a equal to k into x. A is equal to some k into x, where k is equal to proportionality constant. Proportionality constant. Of course, a equal to k into x. Now that is the acceleration can be defined as a rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity, like the 100 say. Rate of change of velocity. So acceleration a is equal to dv by dt. We know that. So dv by dt is equal to some k into x. As that is the velocity, rate of change of velocity in terms of x, we have to convert it. It will be in terms of x's. So that for this expression, we can multiply this expression with the x terms. That is dx by dx. Dx by dx. That is equal to k into x. K into x. Now, dv by dt. Dv by dt, like that you have to say. Dv by dx and dx by dt. Dx by dt. That is equal to k into x. Now, dv by dx into, it can be written as a rate of change of displacement, k into x. Now by redistributing, as shown in the figure, as shown, v into dv is equal to k into x into dx. K into x into dx. Now by taking the integration, integral v into dv is equal to integral k into x into dx. Integral k into x into dx. Of course, now we have to find the loss of kinetic energy. We have to find loss of kinetic energy. So we have to find loss of kinetic. That's why now take the limits. Take the limits from v1 to v2. Take the limits from v1 to v2 and from 0 to x. Of course, that is starts from 0, position 0, mean position, and hence that can be written as a 0 and x. Of course, k is constant, that can be written out of the integration. Now, what about the integral x into dx? Integral x power n into dx. Integral x power n into dx can be written as integral x power n into dx can be written as say x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. X power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Like that. Now here we have v. That is v power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1. In this power we will have 1, of course. V power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 from v1 to v2, that is equal to some k into integral x into dx. For that we have to write x power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 from 0 to x. Now this is a v square by 2, of course. V square by 2 from v1 to v2, that is equal to k into x square by 2 from 0 to x. First of all, we have to apply upper limit minus lower limit in the given function. So first of all, if we substitute upper limit v2 square by 2 minus v1 square by 2 is equal to k into x square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. See here we have by multiplying this one, of course, if it is multiplied by m by m, this one m by m multiplied by m by m into v square by 2 minus v1 square by 2, that equal to k into x square by 2. K into x square by 2. Okay, for our convenience, I will write say both sides multiplied by m. Of course, this is the entire expression will be multiplied by m. Here is m and here also m. Okay. Now it can be written as half mv square, half m v2 square minus half m v1 square is equal to half m and v1 square is equal to k into m by 2 into x square. K into m by 2 into x square. Here k is constant, of course. K is constant, and here k half m square can be written as a, and mass is constant, and also mass and m by 2 also constant. So it can be written as a ke final minus I will indicate that with some other. So KE final minus KE initial is proportional to x square. That is delta KE is proportional to x square. Delta K is proportional to x square. Okay, so that is the relation. Loss in kinetic energy. Delta K is nothing but loss in kinetic energy is proportional to x square is the expression. So answer will be kinetic energy is proportional to x square. Kinetic energy is proportional to x square. Here we have a chain of length L placed on smooth table of height h with a length L hanging from the edge of the table. The chain slides off the table, starts to slide to the table. When the end of the chain is about to leave the edge of the table, its velocity is. Here, there is a table, height is h, of course, height is h. So here is the chain is placed, whose length is L. So, small length L of the part is hanging. So total length of the wire is say, total length of the chain is say capital L. Total length of the chain is capital L. Of course, whenever the last strip will be left from the table, that means entire length of the chain becomes entire length of the chain becomes capital L. When it starts sliding, entire length of the chain becomes capital L. Then we have to find the velocity of the chain. While it is moving downward direction means velocity gradually increases. Hence we have to find the length. So mass of the total length is say m. Mass of the total length is m. Small portion mass is say small m. Okay, small m. Of course, as it is moving, we have to take that is m into as it is sliding. That's why we have to small x. Not we have to take L. Of course, as it is sliding, we have to take x. So mass per length is equal to x. Why? Because of it's a uniform chain. So we have to apply this expression, that is mass per unit length is equal to capital M by L. That is so called as a linear density. So linear density is constant. That is lambda. Lambda is equal to mass per unit length is constant, of course. Now what about the expression for small m? So mass m is equal to capital M by L into x. That is the chain which slides over the vertical plane. So now what about while that is the chain is slowly moving downwards, so we have to take a small amount of work, say that is dw is equal to f into dx. We have to take f into dx. Of course, we know f is equal to ma, or else we can write like this: f is equal to ma, where a is nothing but plus g. Of course, as it's moving down, we have to take a is equal to plus g. So f is equal to ma and f is equal to m into plus g we have to take, and hence now the expression becomes dw is equal to m into g into dx. But we know m is nothing but m by L into x. So in dw is equal to capital M by L into x into g into dx. Now that can be reassembled like dw is equal to M by L into g into x into dx. Now that is the work done will be depends on x only. Why? Because of with respect to time, as that is the length will be gradually changes from x is equal to L to L. Here x can be varies from small L to capital. Ikkada chinna small length is displacement is considered. Initially that is length L. After end of the part is reached here means total length becomes capital. That means L, small l changes to capital. Small l changes to capital. That's why we can take the limits of x from L to capital. That's why limits can be taken from L to small l. So that take integration, integral dw, hence w, work done, w is equal to, here from length will be taken from small l to capital, of course. So w is equal to m by l, g is constant, m by l into g is constant from integral small l to capital. small into capital x into dx. It looks like x power n into dx. It looks like x power n into dx. So for that x power n into dx, we have to write that is expression, we know, integral x power n into dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. For that, double is equal to, now double is equal to m into g by capital L into x square by 2, x power 1 plus 1 by, of course I will write directly, x square by 2 from small l to capital L. Small l to capital. Now work done, we have to find the velocity. That's why I had converted it into half m v square is equal to half m v square is equal to m into g by L into capital L square by 2 minus small l square by 2. So here m gets cancelled. Half m into v square is equal to, by commonly write that 2 m by 2 into g by L into capital L square minus small l square. Now half m by 2, both are gets cancelled. Then v square is equal to g by L into capital L square minus small l square. So v is equal to root of g into capital L square minus small l square by L is the expression for velocity when the chain, end of the chain is leave the edge of the table. Leave the edge of the table. So here we have the ratio of energy required to accelerate a car from rest to 20 meters per second to the energy needed from 20 meters per second to 40 meters per second. We have to find the ratio of energy required to accelerate. Of course, we have the work energy theorem relation. W is equal to half into mv square minus half mu square. Okay. Now the energy ratio we have to find. So that's W1 by W2. I will write W1 by W2 is equal to same body only here. Let us consider the mass of the body is m, means in both the cases from rest to 20 meters per second mass is m, and from 20 meters per second to 40 meters per second is nothing but same mass m only. So that half into, that is can say half into m into v square minus u square. So in the first case, half into v square minus u square, v square minus u square for first case v1 u1, and half into m into, for second case, v2 square minus u2 square, second u. Okay, see here, this is u1, this is v1, this is u2, this is v2. Initial velocities of bodies in the two cases are u1 is rest, u2 is 20. So as that is the body is at rest, means u1 is equal to 0 we have to take, and v1 is equal to 20 meters per second, and u2 initial velocity in the second case, u2 is equal to 20 meters per second, and v2 is equal to 40 meters per second. So by substituting them, we can get the answer that is nothing but see, W1 by W2 energy ratio, W1 by W2 is equal to half m gets cancelled. So v1 square minus u1 square, 20 square minus 0 square by 40 square minus 20 square, that is equal to 400 by 1600 minus 400, that is equal to 400 by 1200, that is equal to 0 0 cancel, 4 1s 4 3s. So energy ratios E1 by E2 is equal to 1 by 3. So E1 is to E2 is equal to 1 is to 3. 1 is to 3 will be the expression. Okay. Listen here, we have two cases. That is the first case. A force of 10 newtons acts on a body of mass 1 kg for 10 seconds at rest. Then kinetic energy is K1. Now another body of mass 1 kg through a distance of 10 meter, and then body acquires K2. Ratio of K1 and K2 is, here we have first body, here applied force is say F is equal to 10 Newton, and body starts from rest, so that initial velocity u is equal to 0, and time is given, time t is equal to 10 seconds. Of course, what about we have to find K1, of course, then kinetic energy K is equal to K1 given. So kinetic energy K is equal to, we have to find nothing but work done, that is force into displacement. But now we have a force M is force F is there, not 10 Newton, and Here as the body starts from rest, S is equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So S is equal to 0 plus half into at square. And time is given. How many seconds? 10 seconds is there, no? 10 seconds, 10 square. So displacement S is equal to half into A into 100, that is equal to 50A. But we know F is equal to MA, that implies A is equal to F by M. So force is given 10 Newton, by mass is given 1 kg, so acceleration also 10 meter per second square. So that to find kinetic energy K1 is equal to force M into A into S. Instead of mass 1 kg, instead of acceleration we have to write 10, displacement 50, of course 50 into A only, na? 50 into A, that is A value only 10, that is equal to 5000 joules. K1 is equal to 5000 joules. But in case of a second body, there is no that much of strength. Why? Because of we have force F. F is equal to 10 Newton, and distance traveled given there. S is equal to 10 meters. Now K2 kinetic energy, K2 is equal to W is equal to F into S. K2 is equal to 10 into 10, that is equal to 100 joules. We have to find the ratio of two kinetic energies. So K1 by K2 is equal to 5000 by 100, that is equal to 50 by 1. So K1 is to K2 is equal to 50 is to 1. K1 by K2 is equal to 50 is to 1. So dear friends, this is the work for you only. So please subscribe and ask your friends also to subscribe this channel. Please subscribe our channel and to give the somewhat support as well as motivation to me to do more videos for you. Okay, so please subscribe and do subscribe by your friends also. Thank you.